Thanks for joining us here on the Jazz Fan Show. We appreciate it every Saturday at noon. Also, jazzfanshow.com. You can follow us on Twitter at jazzfanshow.
Yeah, we're everywhere, man. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
You can find us anywhere you look.
Man, I'm tired of us just talking about it.
Really, though. Seriously. Ugh.
Okay, let's get down to more jazz. What's really important here?
Yeah.
You got some serious sound for us, or you got some what?
No, I don't have any sound for us on this one. This is just a fun game that we're going to play that I invented just recently.
Is there a name for this game?
There is. So Bruce Pitcher, when we're around him, when we were at that Phoenix game especially, he was really making sure to remind us and everybody in that crowd to always, never get too high, never get too low, right?
Yep, that's my life motto.
Never too high, never too low. You know whose else motto that is? Ricky Rubio. I don't know if you know that.
I might have heard it or seen it once or twice when he was here.
It's like his only caption. It's his only English caption, I should say, on all of his posts. So, never too high, never too low, right? So that's what I'm going to call this game. Never too high, never too low. We're only 9 games in. I don't really feel like I should have to play this game. But some of you out there, you listeners, are getting a little bit too high or a little bit too low. So I have some examples of people that we should try to avoid being. We should really try and stay in that Ricky Rubio zone, as I like to call it. That right there in the middle, or just never too high, never too low.
Yeah. What can we do to be better Jazz fans?
So first off, let's go through some examples of Jazz fans or just people out there who are maybe a little bit too high, right? Let's start with too high, okay? People who post the standings after 4 games.
Too much?
It's a little bit too much. You're a little bit too high on this team, right? Yeah, the Jazz were number 1, but we were 4 games in, right? Right now we're only 8 games in or something, 9 games, something like that.
Yeah, so you're saying that I shouldn't have screenshotted that?
Yeah, you shouldn't have. And I'm sick of you sending me those things in the middle of the night, Ryan. No, I just think, I'm the kind of person who I believe in karma, right? I believe in that kind of stuff. And I think that if our heads get too big too early, this season could hurt potentially. I mean, there's always that chance, right?
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, just don't be that guy. That could be the secondary name for this. We could just call this "Don't Be That Guy."
Don't be that guy too high.
How many games do you think we should get into the season before we should
declare ourselves the winners?
Yeah, pretty much. Because that's what people were doing after 4 games. There's like, look, we're number 1.
Yeah, I don't know what the threshold is for games won before you start posting it up there, but I mean, really, nothing matters until the last half of the season and when we're actually going, to try to secure a position.
Absolutely.
Because it's all about the playoffs. If they want to post the screenshots every game, that's all right. They're just going to be that guy.
Yeah. And I don't want to be that guy, so I don't know about you, but okay. My second example, the people who bought just all of the Emmanuel Mudiay stock. I think you're a little bit too high.
Little too high.
Let's get real here. He's obviously been injured. He's had the tight hamstring the past few games. He's definitely shown some flashes. He's a great backup point guard right now, especially with Exum being out and stuff. But there's been some posts. I've just been seeing some posts of, especially earlier in the season, where people were like, "Should we just start Mudiay? Is Conley ever going to show up? Is Mudiay better than Conley?"
You're right.
Like, people are just claiming that Mudiay is the best player they've ever seen. And it's like, you're a little bit too high. Let's give this season some time to settle, right?
Calm down.
My brother-in-law even, you remember, I haven't mentioned my brother-in-law in a while. He's the anti-Dante Exum. But he let me know that Emmanuel Mudiay, there's something weird there. He just feels a little weird about it.
Yeah. Well, he's come in. He showed pretty well the first few games. Now he's been out. Right. He actually came in and was more impressive than I thought he was going to be. He scored a little bit more than they thought. He's a big dude. But a lot of people did go crazy. Those of us that are based in reality and facts only.
Yeah.
Nobody in this room, but some people that are.
I wonder what that's like.
Realize, too, that he wasn't quite distributing the ball playing within the system. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah. I think he'll be fine. I just don't think that I'm going to spend all my money on Moutier stock.
And we'd like to announce things here on the Jazz Fan Show. I believe Dante's first game back is going to be Tuesday.
You think so?
Yes.
There was rumors that it was going to be against the Bucks. And it's funny you said that, because my next example for people who are too high or too low, people who think Dante's return will be significant at all. I think it's going to take a serious amount of time for him to start making any kind of impact.
Wow, you're a downer.
I'm sorry.
You're a downer.
The dude gets injured every year, and like people rail on him nonstop. Always like, when's he going to be back? When's he going to be back? Like, let's just ignore it. Like, just don't pay attention to it and let him do it on his own time. And then when he's here, he'll finally be here, and we won't have rushed him back. And it won't be like this terrible thing where everyone's just saying how terrible of a human being he is because he gets hurt sometimes.
You'll just be pleasantly surprised. I kind of think that's how you live your life, though. You like to assume the worst is going to happen, and then if something happens to go right, you're excited. You don't have to be disappointed.
You know what's funny about that? My wife and I were looking for houses to buy, right? Yeah. We're trying to become first-time homeowners, right? As millennials, the millennials that we are. And the guy was telling us all the things that we could do, and like how you're not going to be in this house forever. Like, people move every 5 years. And I was like, look, man, here in the Jones family, we always expect the worst. Expectations are the root of disappointment. So let's just plan on the worst case scenario, and then anything better, it's going to be great. It's like my secret to life.
Let's set the bar low.
That's right. No, I just think with Dante Exum, I think it's going to take some time. He obviously has been out for a really long time, and a long time before that. Like, he didn't even play that long the times that he's coming back, he's not playing that long, Yeah. So I just think it's almost like the Hayward thing. Like, quit bringing it up. He'll be back when he's back, and hopefully he can help us.
Well, what I want from you is to not get too low, staying in the family's basement, because the highs of a home ownership are on the horizon for you.
That's what I hear. That's what people tell me. But I don't know. I'm expecting the worst case, so really, this basement, I'm going to live there forever.
All right, so talking about stock in Dante Exum, there's a lot of people that have moved off of Dante Island. There are a few that are still holding on. I think you're right. I mean, there's no reason to put these heavy expectations on him at this point, or to expect it to be an enormous splash once he comes back. That would be a total bonus if it is. But when you haven't been in NBA shape, I would say, or when you haven't been in the mix of NBA competition, it takes some time to come back in and get used to the speed, get used to everything. And I hope more than anyone that Dante is a difference maker, but I don't have a timeline expectation, and I think that's okay.
And it just seems like everyone complains whether he plays or whether he doesn't, right? When he plays, people are like, man, he sucks at shooting, blah, blah, blah. It's like, let's just forget about it. Let's just ignore it for a little while and see if it gets better. That's another thing that I live my life by.
Good luck.
Anyway, no, I don't know. I just think I think it's going to take some time, and all that. My next example, before we do that, let's just you mentioned Dante Exum having stock in Dante Exum. I think it's a good time to just quickly remind our listeners that the Jazz Fan Show is brought to you by TryDayTrading.com.
Ooh, good transition.
Is pretty heavily involved in stocks, right?
Absolutely. If you're interested in making a little bit of extra money and you want to do it around your own schedule, anytime of the day or night, go to TryDayTrading.com, check out the free webinar, and find out if it's something you can do to make a little bit more money. I mean, tons of people in the jazz community are starting to trade. It's fun to see some of the fans, that love the same things we do, trade. It's fun to see Alema and Scotty and Hans all participate in the program. So if you're interested in making some extra money, go check it out. If you're not, still keep listening to the Jazz Fan Show.
It'll teach you how to, make money from stocks that aren't Emmanuel Moutier or Dante Exum.
Absolutely.
So it'll be good.
And in the end, you get to trade their money.
Absolutely. So let's move on to some examples of people or things that are a little too low, that aren't in that Ricky Rubio zone.
All right.
Okay. Let's start with 76ers fans.
Whoa, too low?
Yeah, they're pretty low.
I did see the opponent thread, and I think you grabbed some things from there.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
Crazy.
It's follow on Twitter at, how do you say it?
I don't know if it's Monilog.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he is a Twitter OG. We talked with him once or twice. We need to have him on the show.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he turned us down.
Classic at Monilog. I don't even know anything about him.
He's not a radio guy, but he is awesome because he's on Twitter. He's got some good takes, and then every game he goes through and collects basically the data, the threads from the other opposing team, and then he compiles it and releases it to us so we can go back through and see what those crazy fans on the other side are posting as the game goes on.
So here's some of their wow, that was weird. My voice just did a weird thing. Anyway, hey, I dropped your donut in the deep fryer. I'm really good at puberty voice. Anyway, these are some of the 76er fans' posts before the game. Mitchell will be interviewed after the game, sniffling and with tears in his eyes as he ruefully admits even Cork is better than he is. I don't know who Cork is.
I don't either.
One of their players. I don't know.
Huh.
Then he'll crawl on his hands and knees over the court and beg Brett to take him in. Brett Brown, their coach, the 76ers coach. All right, here's some other things that they said before the game. Totally forgot Bogdan was on the Jazz now. Boyan. He's such a Jazz guy. It's perfect. White guy, check. Shoots the lights out, check. No tattoos, check. All right, whatever. And then it says, another one said, Mitchell going for 40 tonight on 47 shots in the first half.
Ooh.
Yeah, he killed him. Anyway, this is some of their posts from in the game. Bogdanovich is killing the Sixers. He's getting any shot he wants. Could someone please play some defense on this guy? Anyone? Here's another one. Mitchell is murdering us. Why does every team shoot the three at such a high percentage against us? Then it gets worse. Like, they start just bagging on their own team. The 76ers have got to be at the bottom of the league when it comes to defending pick and roll. Embiid is out of shape. His fat butt has scored 0 points in the second half. And then people were saying how Neto was a better point guard than Simmons. They're talking about how, in fact, this last post, let's just end with this. 76ers quote-unquote fan posted during, even maybe after the game, this team sucks.
Wow.
So
much for the city of brotherly love.
Seriously, they just turned on their guys so fast.
Those threads are a good read, though. If you're looking for something Jazz-related and want to have a good time, check out and go follow at MONI. How do you spell the full Twitter handle?
It's at MONILOGUE. Monilog. I don't know. Maybe it's just who knows.
Been around for a long time, but it's really cool just because it's all there in one spot and it's entertaining.
It's just a fun follow as it is. I mean, these threads come in, but even outside of that, it's a funny follow. So definitely check that out. Okay, let's move on. The next people who I consider to be too low, people who propose trades online, which make 0 sense.
That happens often.
All the freaking time.
That happens often.
One last week, someone was like, what if we trade for Marc Gasol? And it's like, what are we going to trade for Marc? It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Just go into the NBA trade machine and they just insert A, B, C, and D and hope that it works out.
Yeah. It's a joke. Like, don't do that. What if we just made a quick trade for Marc Gasol? Why don't we just trade for LeBron James?
Might as well.
Let's just do it. I mean, why don't we do it? Well, we could just trade, right? No, it's not. It doesn't work like that. I can't wait.
Don't be that guy.
So there's some rumors about Kevin Love being available, by the way, and I'm just waiting for that to just be a thing.
That's just an annual tradition.
I don't even know who we would trade. That's the thing.
Still, it's an annual tradition. We have to do it.
I already mentioned the whole Joakim Noah thing.
You did mention that. I think you're crazy.
You think I'm a little too high on Joakim Noah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that dude's been collecting a check and sitting on his hindquarters for the last. He popped back in for a little while last year.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we're doing better with Bradley and waiting for Davis to come back.
Yeah. Also, the Lakers and Clippers both passed on Noah at one point. I think he got injured in the offseason, so that was kind of the main reason. But I think, there's obviously something there that we're not seeing. So, okay, my next example of people who are a little too low. Anyone who jumped off the Mike Conley bandwagon immediately.
Yeah, you know what? If you're going to be a Jazz fan, we're going to need you to stick with us through the good, through the bad. You know what? And we could be critical of these guys. I mean, we're paying money to go see these games. They're getting paid a ton of money to play these games. So, it's okay to analyze how they're playing and to have strong feelings. I think it's okay to have strong feelings, Kelby.
Sometimes.
However, let's be realistic. I mean, anybody that you can throw off the bus in the first 9 games, you probably never really had them on the bus.
I agree. I think that if you said anything about Mike Conley not being great, or if you've said anything about how we should have just kept Ricky Rubio, you should not be able to say anything for the rest of the season.
Okay. So you've got not too high, not too low examples here. And I'm on the same page with you as far as feeling that there are some of those out there, but I kind of like it. I mean, this is what makes Jazz and any fandom interesting.
Yeah.
You get the crazies on both sides, and we try to hang in the middle and get a little crazy every once in a while.
I guess I don't handle it well. I'm the kind of guy who, I worry about what these players think, right? I worry about, if the weather is too cold or something, I'm like, man, I wonder if the Jazz players are actually, they don't like it here because it's too cold, I'm that kind of guy. So when I see people posting stuff like, we should have just kept Rubio, he's way better than Conley, don't be that guy.
It makes you wonder how much
so
attention.
Dumb.
Yeah. But these guys, too, I mean, they're trained to give the politically correct answer a lot of the times, right? Or find the middle road. So sometimes we don't know how much some of these things might be affecting them. But even Conley in this little streak, right? I mean, we're talking 4 games or a handful of games where really a string of the worst games that he's had in his career. And to say that it didn't faze him at all would be wrong. I mean, he came out and admitted,
right,
that affects these guys.
Yeah. I think Mike Conley is getting it, obviously. I think he's figuring this whole thing out, and I think we're going to be so happy that we have him at some point,
I'm already happy.
Yeah, I'm already there, but a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are expecting him to earn this stuff, and he kind of already has in my mind. I feel like anyone who says we should have kept Rubio over Conley has never watched the game of basketball.
Ever.
Sorry if that's a little strong, but I love you, Mike Conley.
Yeah.
So I like Ricky too. I mean,
I do too.
But not as much as Conley.
Hey.
Conley's our guy. Okay. We don't have very much time left, so I have only just a couple more. And I already kind of brought this up. People who still bring up Gordon Hayward all the time, let him go. We don't need to talk about him until we meet the Celtics in the finals. That's it.
Done.
He's having a good year this year, I think.
I'm done.
Yeah.
No, I'm
okay,
done.
Sorry. Thank you.
Move on.
I appreciate that,
You're
Ryan.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it. We're done. Okay. This one is also kind of a counterpoint to one from before. People who act like Dante Exum is the bane of their existence.
You're right.
The dude is hurt. It happened. He's not the worst person in the world. He didn't kill your family, okay?
Yeah, he didn't plan this injury hiatus.
Yeah, he's doing his best, and he's guarantee he's more frustrated than any of us. So let's just calm down and just let him get better.
I like all these suggestions, but I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I am too high guy. I mean, really. Yeah. I sometimes have, personal bad feelings about referees.
Yeah.
I mean, physically wish, they might fall over and hit their head.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
Right.
It's hard not to. Or you get some player that comes in with a smirk on their face just when the Jazz aren't doing that well. It might set me off.
I know. I get it. I just think that we're 9 games in. Let's everyone just calm down. It's not time to panic yet. Everything's going great. And there's some things that, might not be as perfect as we like, but our team's still killing it. We're still Jazz fans, and that means life's always good.
I'm feeling good. I'm pretty sure it is a championship or bust now, right?
I think so.
Get on the bandwagon. Join us. We're going to be here every Saturday talking about the Jazz, talking about the games, talking about the latest whatever. As long as it's Jazz related, we want to chat about it. We've got some good guests that are coming up. We're going to invite some of the Stars players and coaches to come chat with us a little bit as well. So I'm looking forward to what we got coming up on the show. If you are not already following us on social media, Twitter is usually where we're most active. That's at Jazz Fan Show, at Kelby Jones, right?
At Jones Kelby, actually.
At Jones Kelby.
Sorry.
/TV radio personality. Now make sure you check it out. Thanks for joining us this week and every week. You're listening to Jazz Fan Show on 97.5, 1280 The Zone.
The Zone
Sports Network.
Go Jazz. Okay. That was good.